I want to introduce our my colleague and the accompanist of this wonderful ensemble, and who's been a great help, who's functioned basically as an assistant by taking all of these sectionals and doing it with a smile and being wonderful. And that's my colleague Lana Norris, who's calling in from the St. Thomas Church and on YouTube Live. They may have gotten the. I want to introduce our my colleague and the accompanist of this wonderful ensemble, and who's been a great help, who's functioned basically as an assistant by taking all of these sectionals and doing it with a smile. Oh, I know why. Sorry, that's because that was my okay. So pardon the technical difficulties, everybody. This professor this is his first YouTube Live experience. So please take be patient with me, please. This program can be viewed later. What you just heard was just recorded on YouTube Live, and we can all go back and hear it. I don't have a printed program for us, but in about 2 minutes, I'm going to bring in one of our esteemed music education students, Monica, who's been a star here in our choir and a bright light and spirit, as everyone has been, to do a vocal warm-up, which I believe in doing for not just to prepare us to sing, but just to reconnect us with our bodies. One of the themes, and a lot of what I want to share with the audience today, is how we have approached choral singing during the pandemic. I start from the basis that the breath, which is what we need to sing, always is a source of nourishment, and it's a opportunity for us to reconnect with ourselves, particularly when we're distracted from social media, pandemic, political election, economic all kinds of problems worldwide that we're facing. Singing is one of the healthiest activities for our mind, for our hearts, for our bodies. There are studies that show that singing is good for one's health and for continued engagement, not just with yourself and with your musical mind, but with others in a community. And the thesis in this situation on Zoom is that while we can't hear each other because the Zoom technology doesn't allow us to synchronously hear each other in time due to the latency issues, we can still be together in synchronous time and see each other. And we can hear each other in this program that's gotten edited together. And we can also begin to unmute ourselves with certain pedagogical techniques to get everybody singing, which we're going to experiment with at the end of this program with a rendition of a song called Homeward Bound, which we looked at last week. We also have so many opportunities to grow with the other events that are taking place in the music department of Hunter College. I see my colleague David Fulmer is here, who's one of the most wonderful musicians I've ever had the chance to work with. And we were supposed to do this fantastic collaboration of the Beethoven's Ninth Symphony this semester, which is postponed, not canceled, just postponed for future return to Assembly Hall. And most of the people here are in the class. Welcome, Florence. It's nice to see you. Some people here were in the class over the summer. I see we have some other guests as well. And I was saying before some of you got here, just how wonderful you all have been to work with. You are also my teachers. I am your professor here, but your steadfastness, your resilience, your humor throughout this ordeal has been inspiring. And if there's a word that I have to describe to Hunter College students, it really makes it about being a Hunter student. And in addition to being intelligent, smart, poised, mature, I would describe the adjective grit to you all. You have undeniable grit to work through the challenges at hand, and that is something to be extremely proud of. Thank you, Professor Fulmer, for your kind words here in the chat box. We're looking forward to collaborating with the Hunter Symphony as well. And now I think it's time for us to sing. So I would like to bring out Monica, future music educator extraordinaire, who I've invited students through the semester to lead warm-ups for us. So it's not just me or Lana leading, but giving opportunities for our students to practice their pedagogy. So Monica, go ahead and unmute yourself. And
All
take
right.
it away.
Hi, everyone. So hello to chamber singers and hello to everyone who is tuning in to us either through YouTube Live or here with us on Zoom. So of course, just like Professor Sheetz mentioned in the beginning of each rehearsal, we always like to take a moment to warm up and really prepare our bodies for singing. And even if you don't consider yourself much of a singer, I highly encourage you to join us, of course, in warming up our bodies and warming up our voices. So first off, I just like to start with some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. So let's give that a try. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Just really release any tension that might have accumulated throughout the day. It's already 4 o'clock. I know everyone's coming back from work on their computers. So it's always nice to just take a moment and reconnect with the breath. So now let's do some more physical warm-ups. So let's roll the shoulders forward first. Really release all that tension. And now let's roll the shoulders back. And now let's just bring the shoulders to a nice neutral position. Now let's try doing some head rolls. So roll the head one way. It's very nice and gently. All right, and the other way. All right, good job, everyone. Now let's do some face massages that we always love doing here in choir. I'll even take off my glasses for this one. But let's do some nice, let's massage the cheekbones. Massage the forehead. Massage the jaw. And massage the neck. All right, great. I hope everyone's feeling a bit more relaxed after that. Finally, I can see again. All right, so now let's do some breathing exercises. So make sure that we're all sitting up nice and tall, feet flat on the floor. Feel even your sit bones in the chair. Just really stand up, sit up nice and tall. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take in a breath for 4 beats. We're gonna hold the breath for 4 beats, and then we'll exhale on the syllable ts for 4 beats. So let's give that a try. So on my cue, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold, 2, 3, and out. Off. All right, so now let's try that again, except this time we're gonna hold for 8 beats. All right, so in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 8. So on my cue, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold, 2, 3, and out. Off. Good. And when you're breathing in, make sure that you're not tensing up the shoulders. You're not bringing the shoulders up in any way, just nice and relaxed. So now we'll do something similar to the previous exercise, but instead of holding it out on ts, we're going to be pulsing on sh for 8 beats. So it's going to sound something like sh, sh, sh. Okay? So just like before, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 8. So on my cue, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold, 2, 3, and out. Off. All right. So let's try some nice melodic exercises. So let's see. Everyone can hear that, right? Thumbs up? Yes, awesome, cool. So I want everyone to repeat after me. Ya, ya, ya. Ya, ya, ya. So we are gonna try this. Ya, 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 ya. All right. So. Ya, 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 ya. 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 Ya, 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 ya. 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 One more. Ya, 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 ya. Very nice. And let's just do a nice sigh from the top. Woo! All right, nice. Now let's see. So let's do another exercise. Ooh, 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 ooh. 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 You can drop out if it gets too low, by the way. One more. All right, now let's try one more exercise. I think we have enough time for that. So repeat after me. Novi, novi, novi. Good. Novi, novi, novi. And make sure that everything is nice and tall, so it's not novi, novi, but novi, novi. So, and even try to do this a bit staccato, a bit of a jump. So it goes like this. Novi, 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 novi. Let's give that a try. Novi, 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 novi. 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 One more. Ah, there we go. Novi, 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 novi. Now just one more final sigh. Woo! And yeah, that's all I have for the warm-ups today. I hope everyone's feeling nice and ready to sing.
I feel better already, Monica. Thank you so much. Let's give Monica a hand, please.
Yeah, thank you.
Check emoji, thumbs up or claps. You know, this is the land of the emoji. You know,
Monica, you did great job. Really great. I feel proud of you.
Skyla's impressed. That's good. That's great. Thank you, Skyla. That was great. So for those of you tuning in who are also Hunter College students and considering taking this class in the spring, one of the things that I'll be working with everyone in the spring is in vocal pedagogy and in warming up and in how to lead a warm up. And I am a firm believer in learning by doing and by practice. So one of the things that we'll be doing in class is sharing warm up experiences with each other, so that when one of us one day finds ourselves in front of a choir, we will have had some hands-on practical experience with doing this. That's definitely one of the advantages, one of the things that we can lean into in this virtual environment. So once again, Monica, brava, and thank you very much. So for the first video I'd like to share with you all, normally we would, go into the Lang recital hall and have some fabulous program ready with instruments and with glamour and, beautifully dressed and positioned on stage. But we have this experience that we're in. And when we started this semester, it was unlike the spring where we had a couple of weeks in person, so we at least knew each other, we knew what we had sounded like. And this was a brand new semester where we had to start from scratch. And I thought that if there was a name of the game that was about learning in this environment, the theme was resilience. And this was the first piece that we learned. And this is a round by a composer named Abbie Betinis. And I'm going to share with you this clip. This is the first virtual choir video that we attempted with our editor, Jacob Scahs-Mishalanie, who's been amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm going to talk about his work in just a little bit. But first, I want to share with you this piece called Resilience. And I've become this master toggler. Okay, toggling is like my middle name at this point. All right, let me share this. And here is the piece. Okay, this is our first piece. Here we go.
Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, oh, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, I wanna make it and I know you will. Yes, it's hard to keep again and say yes we can. Resilience, oh, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, I wanna make it and I know you will. Yes, it's hard to keep again and say yes we can. Resilience.
And bravissima to you. That was our first project. That was wonderful, everybody. I still feel inspired when I watch that video, because what we can get with these split screens is that we get everybody's expression much more clearly, and we have a choir of these individual boxes, the sum of which really captures the spirit of the ensemble. And I think it's important to remember that everyone had to record this in isolation, which is never easy to be able to record. But I am so impressed and proud of everybody with your resilience to have worked through the unknowns of having to, I'm going to explain just how this worked. Everybody had to have two devices, a computer and a phone, roughly speaking. And what on the computer, they would use a guide track, which you'll see in just a minute in another video, of me conducting with their practice part in their ear, in earbuds. And then with the computer going in the ear, we had the phone, everybody would just video themselves in portrait mode, and then, but like also act to the camera. So there was we had some, TV lessons in show business here. And as you'll see, we all dressed accordingly for different videos, given the themes that we had, and kind of had fun with it. And this is something I hope to continue in the spring. And we'll see what we can come up with based on who's in the choir. So this is also my plug to join the choir. Okay, so this is, if you're tuning in, please come in and join us in the spring. We're a merry band. Before I bring in others to speak, I just want to share another video. That was a traditional madrigal. One idea that I had was that at the beginning of the semester, I felt like this is so challenging. So let's escape to a whole other planet of music. And the tradition of English madrigals in the Tudor school in the Elizabethan era are some of the most frothy and poetically beautifully written odes of love and of loss, and a way to escape the current situation, and also was an opportunity to learn a different style. and it's also in English. So this next piece that I'm going to share with you is a rather well-known motet, madrigal rather, called April is in My Mistress' Face. April is in My Mistress' Face is the story of this, well, you'll see that this speaker finds the lover first appearing to be April, but then later on, this singer, the writer discovers that there are other months of the year to ascribe to this lover. So this is the story of April is in My Mistress' Face. And yeah.
I'm sorry that I just let you know that the new homework that song called last week you asked us to upload that one. The Tonami.
That's right, Skyla. So we're going to get to that later. We're not. That's not going to be ready for this event. But
No.
But
I want to say that I already uploaded that. If you can see it.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
I will. I'll check it out, Skyla. Thank you for letting me know. Excellent. Now I'm going to welcome Jewel. It's nice to see you. Professor Thompson is with us. So nice to see you. Thank you for coming. I also see some friends trickling in. I see you, Chris. I know you're here. Some former members who I want to get back into the choir somehow. Anyway, here is our next piece on the program called April is in My Mistress' Face. Let's see, is this it? Yeah. Let's. I am so proud of you all. Okay, there is no pandemic that's going to keep this choir down, and there's no pandemic that's going to keep this choir from singing. There's something I want to say before I continue, and that is there's somebody I want to give my most sincere and deepest thanks to, without whom all of this wouldn't be possible. Most of it wouldn't be possible, I know. And that is, I want to thank our music department chair, Dr. Suzanne Farron, who, when I went to her to ask to have our editor and to have Lana with us, she's advocated for this department. She's done the most amazing job of making everything work and keeping the spirits up and being a wonderful colleague. So, Professor Farron, thank you so much for your support of this community, this choral community, the music department, the spirits. Professor Farron, not only is she this world-renowned composer and musician and professor, but she has this beautiful spirit and heart for what it takes to really bring music to life, particularly in this pandemic. So thank you, Professor Farron. I would like to invite my my colleague Lana to unmute, and I would love her to share her experiences a little bit with us from this semester. So Lana's actually like my co-host in this event. Lana, you have been absolutely wonderful. You've taken the ball. What has it been like to lead sectionals and to work with this choir in this experience?
Hi. Well, I mean, I echo everything you just said about thanking Professor Farron for making this possible. I mean, of course, it's not ideal under, pandemic circumstances, but I have to admit that selfishly, it's been amazing. Because every week we get to come together. We always, for those of you who aren't in the choir, so we start up, we'll do a warm up like Monica just led us through so wonderfully. And then we'll often listen to some music and talk through kind of the context and what did it mean to the people who were hearing it originally. And so we get that rolling. And then half of the choir goes off with me into Zoom land for sectionals. And that's the time where we get to dive deeper into the parts. And with that smaller group, we've been able to hear other perspectives, specific questions, people are connecting it to their daily lives or, whatever's going on. And there was always something inspiring when we go back to the main room that I could share something that the singers had discussed. And then we'd hear from Michael what their group was saying. So we got this double perspective. We got to zoom in together. We got to zoom out and see the whole. I felt like every time was so dense and a lot of fun. So
Lana, you've been wonderful, and the idea of sharing, going into sectionals, it just gives everybody more time to work on their own part, particularly since we hear each other. It has been able to get us to do accomplish more in a short amount of time.
Absolutely.
We have.
Yeah.
Lana, thank you. Lana was kind enough to help me as the accompanist of this choir to help with the practice tracks so that people in the choir could hear. And the next piece that we're going to perform, or that we're going to play, we're going to perform for you virtually. It's another magical called Fair Phyllis. And Lana had helped me with this. And this is a story about Phyllis who's lost, and it's a Mintis. There's this character in Mintis, and the Mintis looking for his lover. Lover's lost, and they went up and down trying to find each other until finally they find each other, and hilarity ensues. And this is called Fair Phyllis by the Elizabethan era composer John Farmer. And what is particularly fun right now is that not even my students have heard this final version yet. So get ready. And notice the cheerful costumes, not costumes, I should just say, I asked everyone to wear color because this is about, love and finding one's heart. Which should be done in color, all right? So here we go. This is Fair Phyllis.
Feeding her flock near to the mountainside. Fair Phyllis, her soul sitting all alone. Feeding her flock near to the mountainside. The shepherd knew not whither she was gone. Knew not whither she was gone. After her lover, up into the sky.
You brought them together. Amintis and Phyllis got together because of you all. That was great. So you have to all remember, if you're tuning in, that everybody recorded this without being able to hear each other. All they heard was a practice track in their ear. And it's a major accomplishment to be able to do the madrigal without anybody. When I first heard it, I was like, that's it. That's the piece. I had never heard it the whole semester in this choir, and that was it. And it was the most delightful, beautiful thing, which brings me to the next part of the program, which is to honor this brilliant editor, Jake Scahs-Mishalanie. So I just want to, in advance, give him an emoji, okay? I don't even know if he's here, but Jake, you are the man. You are awesome, Jake. And you have been able to get us to shepherd through this semester with your talent. And Jake is on the faculty at Hunter College. I believe he teaches a music technology class, and he's a wonderful, wonderful person and talent. And Jake and I spoke on the phone. I outlined what I thought we would need, and he told me what he might need, and then we organized everything, and I gave him the videos, and then it was like a magic wand. He was like, phew, and he just created it. And for the record, and this is, we're planning on having a music talks and tea about a version of this experience, but I want to share this video now because I found that it's been, Jake edited together a tutorial video on how he did it, how he edits this together, which I'd like to share on this occasion, given that this is a celebration of virtual choir performances. And I've had students request this tutorial. I know, Jorge, you asked for this, and I sent it to you because it's great for any music education, any classroom. It's very much DIY, do it yourself, resourcefulness, which speaks to the talent and grit of the Hunter College student body. We're going to take a minute. We still have more music on the program, but this is a tutorial that Jake edited together about this. And I'd just like to show this in relation to what you've heard. So Lana, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that if any of you have questions during the video, you can go ahead and send me a direct chat message. And then at the end, if we have a little bit of time, we can go through them, because what Jake does is so amazing. I'm sure he'll have things to say, so drop it in the chat to me.
Yeah, and we can always ask him if I can't, neither of us can answer it. Okay, here we go. This is Jake's tutorial video on how to create a virtual choir, period. How to create a virtual choir.
Hi, in this tutorial I'll give you a quick overview of how I made a virtual choir video for the Hunter College chamber singers using free software. Before I edited the video, each singer recorded themselves at home using the front-facing cameras of their phones or laptops. To make sure everyone was synchronized, the singers followed a conducting video and a click track that Professor Sheetz provided for them.
And sing.
Here's an overview of the process. First, I cleaned up each recording with noise reduction and loudness normalization. You might be able to skip noise reduction, but with 25 voices, the noise adds up quickly. Loudness normalization makes each voice equal, which will make mixing very easy. I used iZotope RX, but I'll show you how to do it in Audacity, which is a free program. Then I synchronized the voices and mixed the audio in Reaper. You could use any digital audio workstation for this part. Lastly, I edited the video in DaVinci Resolve. Again, any video editing software would be fine for this.
The first part of the process is that we're going to want to take each of these original recordings and clean them up. I'll start by importing one of the recordings and listening to it.
Resilience, we are strong.
To do noise reduction, we're going to select the beginning of the audio file before the voice starts. So this will be a good example of the noise. Then we're going to go into the Effects menu and select Noise Reduction and click Get Noise Profile. This teaches the effect what the noise of this particular recording sounds like. Then we can go back and hit Command A to select the full recording, return to the Effects menu, Noise Reduction, and hit OK. If you want to dial in these settings, you may have some luck with that, but I think the defaults are an OK start. Okay, so now there should be less noise. Let's listen to it.
Resilience, we are strong.
Excellent. So the room tone is much softer, but the voice still sounds very clear. So the next part of the process is loudness normalization. So we'll select the full recording, we'll go to the effects menu and select loudness normalization. The settings we want here are perceived loudness, and we'll set it to -20 LUFS. We'll hit OK. And the recording is now a little bit louder, and we can export a WAV file to a new folder. So you'll go through this process of cleaning up and exporting every single one of these recordings, and then we'll move on to mixing. The next part of the process is to take all of the cleaned up recordings and synchronize them and mix the audio in a digital audio workstation. I'm going to use Reaper, which is a not free program, but it does have an unlimited trial period, so it's very accessible, but you could also use GarageBand or any other digital audio workstation. So I'll start by grabbing one of the 3 groups of audio files, and I'll import them all into Reaper. And let's just see how it sounds without doing anything. So it's a little bit chaotic to start because we need to synchronize all of the files. So in order to synchronize them, I'm just going to work my way from the bottom to the top, one by one, adding layers till they're all synchronized. So these two, bottom 2 layers,
We are strong.
they're not lined up, but you can kind of see how they would be lined up. So I'm just going to drag them, looking at the waveforms, until it looks like the similar shapes will line up with each other.
Resilience, we are strong.
So you start visually, just looking at the waveforms, and then confirm whether or not it worked by listening to it. So we'll go through adding each layer until we have the full group together.
Resilience, we are strong. Resilience, we are strong.
Etc. Okay, so that's just the start of the process, but you can see how this would finish itself out.
Resilience, we are strong.
So once all of the individual layers are synchronized, you're going to want to mix the audio, which is more complicated than we can get into in this video. But the gist of it is that we would want to set the levels to make sure it's not too loud. So I'll take all of these and turn them down a bit.
Resilience,
and we want to pan each of the voices so that we have a stereo image, right? We want different sounds to take up different places between the left and the right speaker. Then we would probably add some reverb and maybe do some other things, but this is the start of it. So just to give you a look, here is the finished file of the mix with the 3 groups of voices. You can see that they are panned left and right, and we have some compression and some reverb. Let's listen to it.
Yes, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on, resilience.
There you go. So once you have the mix somewhere you like, you're going to export the audio file from that mix back into your original project folder and put it all together in a video editing program. The last part of the process is to synchronize and arrange all of the video files with the new mixed recording in a video editing program. I'm going to use DaVinci Resolve, which is a great free video editor, but you could also use iMovie or something like that. Once you import the video files in, I'm just going to do a demo with a few of the layers. You're going to have to synchronize them again, which will be just like you did in Reaper or whatever DAW you're using. So you'll look at the waveforms and you'll listen and you'll make sure everything's synchronized.
Yes, we are strong.
But then you're going to import the mixed audio, make sure that that is synchronized with the others, and then you can go through and mute all of the individual videos.
Shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on.
So now your mixed balanced audio is going to be aligned with each of the individual video files. Once you do that, you're going to go through and crop and zoom in to each video so that each face is about the same size and each of the frames is about the same size. So this is a bit of a tedious process, and you kind of just have to keep tweaking settings until it's right. So I'm going to speed the video up and you can see what it looks like with just these couple of layers. Okay, so this was just the start of the process, but you get the picture of how all of these videos can be moved around, gradually tweaked and cropped until they work together. My thinking with this is to try to make sure that each of the faces is about the same size and to try to line up the eyes.
Here is a quick look at the project after the editing has been completed. We have 3 rows of faces for the 3 voice types. If we take a look at the tracks, we have, again, the 3 voice types color-coded, keep it nice and organized. At the beginning and end, we have some text titles. And we have a few black rectangles that you can't see just to clean up the edges. At the bottom, if we look at the audio files, all of the individual audio from the videos was useful for synchronizing everything, but they've all been muted, that's why they're gray, except for the audio mix that we exported from Reaper. So that's the only sound we will hear. To finish it up, I did a bit of color editing on each of the individual faces and then exported the video. That is the whole process. There are definitely other ways of making a video like this that would involve fewer steps. Like you could probably skip the initial cleaning up of recordings in Audacity, and you could mix the audio directly in your video editing software. But I found that this process works really well for me, and I've been happy with the results. Thanks very much for watching. I hope this was helpful.
I wanna make it, I know you will, yes, it's hard to keep going, but yes, we stand resilient.
Amazing, right? Okay, so Jake, like, how lucky are we to have that caliber of an engineer on our side helping with this? So Jake, thank you so much. That's my public. I'll put this in an email to you privately. I have, there was a question I just fielded. The question is this: how did Jake separate the audio from the videos to do this editing, and how did they add it back into the videos after? Well, it's what you can do in any of these programs, and I've been able to do it on iMovie, is just you can extract the audio and then edit the audio separately and edit the video and move things around by like a click of the button. He does it at a much higher level than I do. I had to do this to create the guide track because I had to record it separately and then video myself, and then I put it together. And I learned iMovie just by a YouTube tutorial. It's not as hard. I mean, I was panicking when I first got this thing happened in March. I was like, I'll never be able to do this. And then one night I was like, okay, let me just watch a video, and it's not as hard as one might think. So anyway, so that's iMovie and YouTube editing skills. So I want to share another experience that we worked on this semester. We also had another madrigal that Jake's still going to be editing it, so we're going to publish it later. It was a Lassus motet madrigal called Matona Mia Cara. That'll hopefully be ready in a few weeks, and I'll send it to you, everyone in the class. Even though today is the last day in the semester, this is the last time we're meeting synchronously, I will be in touch with you all to give you updates about the spring. Lana Norris kindly made this awesome choir playlist to get us through to listen during the holidays. So anyway, given the tragedy of this whole pandemic, and given the losses that we've had collectively and just individually, we've all probably know somebody that has suffered from COVID. I was approached over the summer by a composer colleague who was looking to set a Requiem text in English, which he called an American Requiem. And he asked me if I'd be interested. And I thought this could be a really good project for us. And he was willing to do all of the editing on his own. And he sent me the scores, and he was amassing different choirs together. And we participated with it. And the composer's name is Raphael Fusco, who is well known to New York audiences from his arrangements and directing of updated Mozart da Ponte operas. He directed Figaro 90210 on Broadway or off Broadway last year. And he's now living in Germany. And he invited us to participate. And I shared the piece with the choir. And the choir was really liked it. So we did. So I want to share this piece, which is definitely of a different tone than the madrigals. And it's one of in memoriam, and the movement that we participated in was the last movement called In Paradisum, and it's Raphael's setting of the Requiem with American dialect in American style. And you'll see in this video, we're not the only ones in the choir. There are some of his colleagues who participated in the whole large scale. We just sang in one movement, but this was a part of our work this semester, and we rehearsed. And our students here did a fantastic job learning it in sectionals, and Lana helped teach it. And we did parts, and we did, divided everything up. And so we had an equal divisi among us. So let me share this next video called In Paradisum from an American Requiem by Raphael Fusco. Here it is.
May the
The whole work is available on YouTube, and it was dropped. And if you continue playing, you'll see our credits at the end of the piece. And you know, that was definitely an emotional piece for us to work on, given the moment we're living in. And in addition to that piece, we also worked on other repertoire, which we just didn't get to record, a number of other madrigals as well, and rounds and canons. And it was definitely an adventure. And I will say that I certainly learned a lot about what it means to be a director in this in general. And I am going to take the break coming up to really reflect on that and make our experience even stronger while we still have to remain in quarantine to be safe. Safety has to come first, obviously. And given everything that we are reading in the papers about where the pandemic is going in the city right now, even though there's good news about a vaccine, we're going to still be taking this class in a remote environment, which means you can join this choir from the comfort of your home, okay? And we can get you singing with each other. And by the end of the semester, I figured this out. It only took me to the second to the last class to figure this out, but we started to do this exercise where we have one singer in the choir unmute themselves, sing, but we all sing with them, whatever our part is, in relation to what they're hearing. So let's say it's an alto, the tenor can then practice their part in relation to the alto, and I can field questions through the chat box, which is what I did for most of the semester. And we also get to hear each other rather than just hearing me and the whole time. And nobody needs to hear me all the time. That's just, it's too much. I'm tired of hearing, of having to, you know, be the one who's unmuted, and we have to get everybody participating as much as possible, even though I can see from the on cameras and from the videos that came in just how much everybody was participating. So you'll notice some final announcements before we go to our epilogue for this event. Our semester begins in 2021, if you can believe that it's going to be 2021 in a little bit. So stay tuned to emails about the first class. You'll see announcements on the website about the first class. I have made the choice to forego auditions for this ensemble. Usually there is an audition. Given this situation, and then given that the context is completely different, I'm foregoing that, although I will vocalize you at the first rehearsal privately so that I can hear your range and assign you accordingly. Now, we worked on this on Thursday, but I have a piece, and this is a piece I had known, and I figured it would be nice to do a little bit of singing, live synchronous singing, and not just pre-recorded singing at this event and gathering. And the piece is called, it's a song, and it's a song with a very heartfelt message. I think that's really important for all of us to hear, and particularly college students as we go on break, even if we might not be physically leaving. The piece is called Homeward Bound. It's by a composer named Marta Keen. Now, if you are on YouTube Live, unfortunately, I can't get the score to you, but what I just did was I uploaded it to the chat box. So if you want to download it, you can, or just take a look at the words. I'm going to read the text of this piece, just so that you can get a sense of what it's about. And the translation is, the translation, it's in English. The piece, the text is, the poetry is, in the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, if you find it's me you're missing, and you're hoping I'll return, to your thoughts I'll soon be listening, in the road I'll stop and turn. Then the wind will set me racing as my journey nears its end, and the path I'll be retracing when I'm homeward bound again. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow, set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, I'll be homeward bound again. And what I said to my students when we worked on this is that if there's a line and a lyric, if there's a lyric that I hope that you take hold of, students, it's the line of set me free to find my calling and I'll return to you somehow. But it's this idea that we sing with our voices, but we also sing with the deeper song within our hearts. And that's the song in which you take hold of your life's purpose and to really set your wings free in your life to make the world a better place and to become a more complete human. That's the broader message of education. And I think that's the power of music, that music can unlock those very special channels within us. Oh, oops, I'm sorry, there was a problem. Thanks, Lana. So this is why I have Lana with me, okay? Among many other reasons. I actually privately uploaded it to somebody who was chatting me. And now the Homeward Bound is in the screen. So we're gonna take a few minutes. We're not gonna end past 5:25, which is when this class ends. But I had some volunteers who were willing to do this. And I think it might've been, if you can believe that I have a student named Harmony. I have a student named Harmony. Are you willing to do this? You like the way you sang it? Were you planning on it? Are you up for it?
I can try.
Can you say that one more time, Harmony? Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, there was just a little bit of a Zoom thing happening. Are you up to sing it?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, so give me 1 second. Hold on, just pause. I have to move to my keyboard. This is my lovely abode, my apartment, which has become a studio, basically. This is what I call, I've been kidding with everybody and saying that this is the series finale or the season finale of the Hunter College Chamber Singers, with the second season coming. Second season order is coming in January 2021. Okay, call Netflix and have them broadcast, I say. And this is where I've been broadcasting. I have a keyboard right here. Harmony, I really want the students to lead this. I don't want to lead it myself. So Harmony, do you feel comfortable to take us through the whole piece? Okay, you got this, Harmony. You got it. So this is the key center. And I think I can accompany just a little bit, Harmony. Can you give it a try first just to see if it works?
Okay. In the quiet, misty morning.
Harmony, it's great. I'm gonna try to play now with you, okay? So here we go. Whenever you're ready.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red. If you find me, it's me you're missing, and you're hoping I'll return to your thoughts. I'll soon be listening. In the road, I'll stop and turn. Then the wind will set me racing as my journey nears its end. And the path I'll be retracing when I'm homeward bound again. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing,
Harmony, that was awesome. That was so, what a beautiful way to end the semester. Now, there wasn't I only chose this piece because I think it's a message that we just need to take hold of. We're feeling so isolated, but we're on our journey to wellness and home. And Harmony, thank you for sharing your talent with us. I know
Thank
this is
you.
choir, but
And
remember
thank
that.
you for all the wonderful comments.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, this semester has been spent, so much of it has had to be on mute. And that was just wonderful. So I want to leave you, class. This is our last time this semester in 2020, okay, together. I want to wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I want to wish you a safe Thanksgiving. I want to wish you a safe holiday. And to the listening audience, I just want to remind you that music is our friend, and music is here to heal us and to help us through all of these challenges. And here at the Hunter College Music Department, we are determined to keep the song and the music going and the music education happening for our continued engagement in wellness. And as I said at the beginning, I will reiterate, I am deeply proud and honored to be your director here. And I want to thank you for meeting me where we are in this virtual space, and for taking every note I ever gave you this semester. It's the biggest gift from my perspective, to have a group that will just go with whatever I try to do. It is a gift, and it has been a two-way street. And if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. Thank you all for attending this wonderful event, and I want to wish you all a great evening. I'll take questions. I just want to tell everybody to take care. Skylar, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to ask, I have two questions. I don't know whether I hear clearly or not. You said this is the last class we have?
This is the last class that we have. It's the last class. This class ends before Thanksgiving. So
after Thanksgiving, we don't have class?
We don't have class, but if you'd like to come to another choir event, I will be interviewing Jane Glover, the internationally acclaimed star, about the Mozart Requiem in the college choir class on Monday, November 30th at 1 o'clock. So you'll see the emails about that, and you all can come visit. Okay, you can all attend that. That's a very exciting event. So, but this class is actually, because usually Chamber Singers finishes before Thanksgiving, so that's what we're doing.
Okay.
I know, but you'll be back with us in the spring, right? Join the choir, everyone. Join the choir. Okay. Don't be.
May I ask a second question? Is I'm really interested at the technology. Just now you show us in the how to do the video. So can you email me one of that one?
I will. Jake, I asked Jake for permission to share it with the students, and he said yes. And I will, after this call, I will send it to you. I will send you the link. You got it.
Thank you very much. Okay, I got it.
Okay, thank you, Skylar. Are there any other questions here? Thank you, Professor Spicer, for being with us. It's so nice to have you with us. I noticed you came in as well, and I want to thank my colleague, Professor Thompson, who's here on the Zoom call, and Professor Fulmer. It means so much to me that you're able to come and enjoy the choral music making in the virtual environment, and we have more to come. So thank you all very much. And without any further ado, I'll have a happy Thanksgiving, and see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. I'll miss you.